Hi, I'm Lizzie from Baecrochett, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this leaf drop top. If you would like the written pattern, it's available on my website at baecrochet.com or on my Ravelry shop. The links are in the description below. This is a made to measure pattern, which means we're going to be using your unique measurements to achieve your desired fit. So let's get into it. For this tutorial, you will need yarn of your choice. I'm using this yarn that my mom gifted to me. It is Weekend DK from Baecrochett, and it recommends a 4mm crochet hook, and it is a weight 3 light yarn. So that's what we're going to be using. We're going to be using a 4mm crochet hook, and you're going to need a measuring tape, a little book just to write down your notes, and a scissors. First, we're going to be making the cups. We're going to make 2 cups. So we're going to measure from your nipple to your underboob. So let's do that. Okay, so to measure, you're going to go from your nipple, which is roughly around the middle here, and you're going to measure from the nipple to your underboob. So I'd say maybe around here, just like this, and that's 7 centimeters for me. So you're going to take note of that measurement and write it down. Okay, so my measurement was 7 centimeters, so I'm going to write that down right here. This is important because we're going to use this for both of our cups, to start both of our cups. So to start your cups, you're going to chain an amount that corresponds to your measurement. So I'm going to chain an amount that corresponds to 7 centimeters. Okay, that just means to keep chaining until you reach your measurement. So you're going to make a slip knot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so it's 15 for me. So I chained 15, which is the same as 7 centimeters. So you're going to write that down as well, just so that you don't forget when you're making the next cup. So you're going to remember this for your next cup. So once you get your number of chains, mine is 15, I'm going to chain an extra 2. These 2 do not count as the beginning chain, okay? This is just a turning chain. So now we're going to crochet into 1, 2, 3, the 3rd chain from the hook. And normally you would go in like this through the front of the loop with a double crochet, but I find it a little better to go through the back loop instead. So I'm just going to turn my work around like this. And you can see these little back loops here. I'm going to go into that instead. So I'm going to double crochet into each stitch. So skip 2, 1, 2, turn it around, look for that back loop. It's kind of hard to get into, but I find it makes less holes in your work. So you're just going to continue just like this, crocheting into the back loop of each stitch. This back loop. So you're going to continue that all the way until we reach the end, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reached to the end and I have one more stitch left here. So into the last stitch, we're going to make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, all into this last stitch here. Chain 2, 2 more double crochets into that same stitch. And this will be the tip of the cup. So now we're going to work into each stitch all the way down again. So we just worked into this stitch here. Now we're going to work into the next stitch. Kind of hard to get into that stitch. And I'm just going to work over this loose end to cover it up. So double crochet into every stitch until the end. just like we were doing before. Okay, and you're going to continue all the way to the end, and I'll meet you back. Okay, I reach back down to the end and I have 2 stitches left. One is a double crochet here that I have to work into, and the other is the 2 single crochets. So we're going to work into that last double crochet. And we're not going to double crochet into these 2 chains. We're going to make a half double crochet into that last stitch. It's going to be a little hard to get into that stitch because it's so small, but we're going to try. Okay, and this is not a double crochet. We're making a half double crochet into the very last stitch here. So now we're going to chain 2 again. And now we're going to be working front post and back post double crochets into the next stitches all the way around. So we're going to turn our work. This chain 2 is our turning chain. So we're not working into this stitch because this is the half double crochet at the end, but we're going to work a front post double crochet around the next stitch. So we're not going into the stitch like we would normally. We're going to yarn over, go around the stitch, push through the back, and then back up to the front. Grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops, pull through the last 2 loops. So this is called a front post double crochet. And now we're going to do a back post double crochet. So we're going to go from the back and then around that next stitch. Grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops, pull through 2 loops again, and this is your next back post double crochet. Now we're going to work a front post double crochet around the next stitch, and then a back post double crochet around the next stitch, and we're going to continue doing this all the way to the tip of the cup. Front post double crochet, then back post double crochet. So you're going to continue just like this all the way to the tip here, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reach close to the tip here, and you're either going to end off with a front post double crochet or a back post double crochet. If you end off with a back post double crochet like me, you're going to continue like you would normally with a next front post double crochet around the next stitch. If you end off with a front post double crochet, then you're going to make a back post double crochet around the next stitch. Okay, so you want to make sure that no front post double crochets are next to another front post double crochet, and no back post double crochets are next to a back post double crochet. Okay, so these 2 stitches at the tip here, we're going to make a front post double crochet and then a back post double crochet around the next one. And now we're going to increase at the chain 2 space, and we're going to put 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into this space right here. Chain 2, 2 more double crochets into this stitch. And now we're going to look at our work. So we have our 2 double crochets here and our 2 double crochets here. So the last stitch before these 2 double crochets for me was a back post double crochet. So I'm going to make a back post double crochet into the next stitch so that both sides match up and are the same. So if you ended with a front post double crochet, you're going to make a front post double crochet around this stitch, around the next stitch. So I'm going to make a back post double crochet just like the opposite side, and then a front post double crochet around the next stitch, and then a back post double crochet, continue on alternating between front post and back post double crochet all the way to the end, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reached to the end, and I have a front post double crochet at the end here. So I'm going to make a front post double crochet around it, and then the last stitch, don't forget the last stitch, which is the chain 2. We're going to make a half double crochet into the chain 2 space. So that's the end of the second row. Now we're going to chain 2 just like before, turn our work, and now we're going to look at our work as we turned it. So as you can see, this appears to be a back post double crochet from this angle. So we're going to make a back post double crochet around this stitch, and then a front post double crochet around this stitch, back post double crochet around this stitch, front post double crochet around this stitch. Okay, so we're going to start working back post double crochet around the first stitch, front post double crochet around the next front post double crochet, back post double crochet around the next back post double crochet, front post double crochet around the next front post double crochet, just like this. And we're going to continue all the way to the tip, and I'll meet you back. Okay, I reach back to this end, and I have my last stitch is a front post double crochet around the next front post double crochet. So this is what it should look like. So the next stitch for me would be a back post double crochet, since I just did a front post double crochet. If you did a back post double crochet here, you're going to make a front post double crochet around the next double crochet, and then a back post double crochet around the next double crochet. But since I ended off with a front post double crochet, I'm going to make a back post double crochet around this next double crochet, and then a front post double crochet around the next one. And we're going to continue just like we did before with 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. For the increase, and now remember, we want both sides to look the same, so we want it to mirror each other. So the last stitch before I did these 2 double crochets was a front post double crochet, so I'm going to make a front post double crochet around this next stitch. But if your last one was a back post double crochet, you're going to make a back post double crochet around the next stitch. Okay, so I'm making a front post double crochet, and then a back post double crochet, and then a front post double crochet around the next front post double crochet. And we're going to continue just like this, alternating between front post double crochets and back post double crochets all the way until we reach the end. Okay, and I'll meet you back. Okay, I reach back to the end, and I have my last 2 stitches. One is a back post double crochet, and then the last one is right here. Don't forget your last stitch, which is the chain 2 space that you have to make a half double crochet into. Okay, essentially we're going to keep repeating this, and you're going to want to make sure that you work a front post double crochet on top of a next front post double crochet for each round, and work a back post double crochet on top of a next back post double crochet as well. So you're going to continue repeating this all the way around and around and around and around until you reach your desired coverage for your cups, and increase with 2 double crochets at the tip of the cup each time, and also end off with a half double crochet into the very last stitch and a chain 2 Okay, so I'm gonna leave you to do the rest and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reached back and this is what my work looks like. It's kind of stretchy. This is what it should look like. And now for the last row. Once you place this up to your chest and you're happy with how it looks, yes, you want to place it up to your chest, stretch it if you'd like. If you're happy with how it looks, we can continue on to the very last row. Make sure it fits well. Okay, so for the very last row, I just finished my half post double crochet. I'm going to chain one and turn my work. This row, we're going to be working picots. So it should look like this around the cups. We're going to be working picots. That's what you call these. So to make those, you make your chain one and we're going to skip this stitch, this half double crochet stitch, and we're going to work a back post single crochet around the next back post double crochet. If you have a front post double crochet here, you're going to work a front post single crochet. I have a back post double crochet here, so I'm working a back post single crochet around this stitch, and it's very similar to the double crochet, but it's just a single crochet like this. Okay, but for this row I want you to make your stitches as tight as you can. Okay, so I'm going to pull for each stitch, and now I'm going to make a front post single crochet around the next stitch, the next front post double crochet, and then pull, and then a back post single crochet around the next back post double crochet and pull, and then front post single crochet around the next front post single crochet. But this one, don't pull because you need some space to work into that stitch. So I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we did 1, 2, 3, and on the fourth one we're working a picot. So we're chaining 3 and then we're going to go into this single crochet from the side at the front like this, and then grab this other loop here, go through this other loop, grab the yarn, pull through all, and that's our first picot. Now the next stitch would be a back post single crochet, and we're going to pull tight. Next stitch, front post single crochet, pull tight. Next stitch, back post single crochet, pull tight. Next stitch, front post single crochet. This one is the fourth one, so we're not going to pull tight. This is where we're going to make our picot. So we're going to chain 3 and then push our hook through the front 2 loops here, grab the yarn, pull through all. That's our next picot, and we're going to continue on just like we did before. And make your next picot. So we're going to continue just like this all the way to the tip, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reach up to the top here and I just made my last picot. So after this picot, the next stitch I would have to make would be a back post single crochet. So I'm going to make that around this double crochet. These picots, you want to make sure that they also match on the opposite side. So keep that in mind once you're working at the top here, okay? So I'm going to front post single crochet into the next stitch, and I'm just going to make 2 single crochets at the top here, 1 and 2. So I'm going to work a front post single crochet around this stitch and then a back post single crochet around this stitch. And then the next stitch would be my front post single crochet with my picot, which is same as on this side, which I want to be same. So front post single crochet, don't pull tight, chain 3, make my picot, then back post single crochet around the next stitch, pull tight, front post single crochet around the next stitch, pull tight, back post single crochet around the next stitch, pull tight, front post single crochet around the next stitch, don't pull because I have to make my picot, and then back post single crochet around the next stitch, pull tight. Okay, so we're going to continue just like this all the way to the end, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reached back to the end here, and I just did my last front post single crochet, and now I have a back post single crochet to make. One last one, and then I'm just going to slip stitch into that chain 2 space at the end, at the very end. And now you can cut and fasten off your yarn. So you're going to make 2 cups and make sure they are both identical. Now that you have your 2 cups, we're going to put these aside for a moment while we work on the bottom panel. For the bottom panel, we're going to measure around your rib cage. Let's call this your measure B. And you also want to make sure that you're somewhat breathing in when you're measuring. So because your ribs expand when you breathe, you know. So I measured mine, and we're going to call this your measure B. Mine is 68 centimeters. So I'm going to chain a multiple of 17 plus 8. Okay, so I wrote out some of the multiples of 17, and these numbers are just numbers that can be divisible by 17. Okay, so we're going to chain one of these numbers. So let's start with 102 and see if it corresponds to our measure B measurement. Okay, so I'm going to make a slip knot and then chain a multiple of 17, and you're going to count. So I'm going to start counting until I reach 102, which is the first multiple, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I have my measuring tape here, and I'm measuring my chain as is. I'm not really stretching it yet, and so far I reached 50 centimeters, but I need to reach to 68 centimeters or closest to 68 centimeters, whether that may be a little less or a little more. Okay, so I'm gonna continue on, and I'm gonna make 119 chains, which is the next one in line. So I'm gonna continue chaining until I reach 119, and I'm gonna measure again afterwards, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reach back, and as you can see, it almost reaches 60 there, but my yarn is a bit stretchy. Because this is acrylic yarn, it may be a little stretchy. Let me show you how this yarn stretches. So it stretches beyond to over 70 centimeters. See, it can stretch a lot. So I think I'm gonna stick with 119 because once I stretched it and now it's a little longer, it passes 60, and I need it to be closest to 68. So I think this is good because this is closest to my measure B, which is 68 centimeters, which is right around here, and passes that when I stretch it. I'd stick with this. So that's what you're going to do for your own. So you're going to continue measuring until you reach closest to your multiple of 17, whichever one this may be. And yeah, I'll meet you back. After that, we're going to add 8 more stitches, because remember, we want to chain a multiple of 17 plus 8. So these are already multiples of 17. So once you got this number down, you're gonna add 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we're gonna work into the 6th stitch. So we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're working into that 6th stitch. We're making 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 2, 2 more double crochets into the same stitch. Now we're going to chain 4, and we're going to skip 7 stitches and work into the 8th stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and into the 8th stitch, which is this one. We're going to work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to work into the very next stitch with 3 double crochets again. This stitch, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to skip 7 stitches just like we did over here and work into the 8th stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're working 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. So we're basically going to be repeating this onto this side over and over, okay? Okay, so this is what you should have so far, and you're going to continue repeating this all the way until the end of the row, okay? And I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reached back to the end here, and at the end you should have 2 stitches left after your last 2 double crochets here. And now we're going to double crochet into the very last stitch, skipping the first stitch here. Now we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. We're going to make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space right here. 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 more double crochets. Hey guys, this is me from the future. I'm just editing, and if you're enjoying this tutorial, please hit that like and subscribe button, because this truly helps to push out my video to other creators who would like to make something like this as well. And yeah, it would really help. Thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot. Back to the video. Now we're going to chain 2, skip this whole chain section, and we're going to double crochet 2 times into the first double crochet we see. 1 and 2. Now we're going to double crochet into the next stitch then double crochet 2 times into the next stitch. Now we're going to chain 2, skip 1 chain, then double crochet into the next chain, which is the middle chain, chain 2, double crochet 2 times into the next double crochet, skipping that 1 chain, double crochet into the next double crochet, double crochet 2 times into the next double crochet, now we're going to chain 2, skip this whole chain section and skip these 2 double crochets, and we're going to work into the chain 2 space. 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. So this is what we have so far, and we're going to keep repeating this section from here to here, over and over. Okay, so the next stitches would be to chain 2, then double crochet 2 times into the next double crochet into the next double crochet 2 times into the next double crochet, and so on and so forth. So I'll leave you to do the rest and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I just reached back down to this end, and you should have ended off with 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the last chain 2 space. And all we need to do now is double crochet into the chain at the tip right here, right after this double crochet. You're going to double crochet into the chain right here, just like that. Now we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. We're going to make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. Now I'm going to chain 2, skip this chain 2 section, and we're going to work double crochet 2 together into the next 2 double crochets. So that means that you're going to double crochet but keep these 2 loops on the hook, then grab the yarn, push through the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops. So there's 2 double crochets there, but they're halfly done. Now I'm going to grab the yarn and pull through all 3 loops. So that's double crochet 2 together. And now I'm going to double crochet into the next stitch, double crochet 2 together into the next 2 stitches, just like that. See how it's 2 double crochets here, but there's 1 stitch at the top here. Same thing for these 2, 1 stitch at the top. Now we're going to chain 3, skip this chain 2 section, and we're going to work 3 double crochets into this double crochet in the middle here. Chain 3. We're going to do the same thing we did here on this side. Okay, so that's double crochet 2 together into the next 2 stitches, double crochet into the next stitch, then double crochet 2 together into the next 2 stitches. Now I'm going to chain 2, skip this chain 2 section, and then make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. Okay, so this is what we have so far. We're going to continue on repeating this from here, from this chain 2. The next 2 stitches will be chain 2, and continue on repeating this section over and over and over until you reach the end of the row, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I reached back to this section here. I went all the way down and back to this section, and you should end off with 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the same chain 2 space. And now we're going to double crochet into the chain at the top here, 1 2 3, into the third one. We're going to chain 3 and turn our work. We're going to make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space, into the next chain 2 space. Now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to double crochet 3 together with these 3 stitches right here, skipping this chain 2. So we're going to make double crochet 3 together, just like the double crochet 2 together, but this time it's 3 together. See, there's 3 there, and now we're going to pull through all. Now we're going to chain 3, skip this section, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 3, skip this double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 3, skip these chain 3s, and just like over here, we're going to make double crochet 3 together into the next 3 stitches. Now we're going to chain 1, skip this section, and make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. So this is what we have so far, and as you can see, there's a leaf here that we just finished creating and a leaf here. So that's the end of these 2 leaves. So we're going to continue on repeating this section from here, from the chain 1. I'm going to chain 1 here and then repeat everything that we did here onto this side. Okay, and I'll leave you to do the rest. Okay, so I just finished and I reached back down to this end here, and I just finished off with my 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the same chain 2 space. And now I'm gonna double crochet into the third chain at the end here, just like before. And now essentially, as you can see, we just finished off 1 leaf. So these 4 rows that we just completed, we're going to be creating a repeat of these 4 rows. So the following row would be similar to row 1, but since this is on the starting chain, it looks a bit different, so I'm going to go through it with you. So we're going to chain 3 and turn our work, make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. Now we're going to chain 4, 1 2 3 4. We're going to skip this whole section here, okay, because this leaf is finished off. So we're working into this double crochet here, the next double crochet, and we're going to make 3 double crochets, 1 into that same stitch. 2. Now we're going to chain 3, skip these 3 stitches, these 3 chains, and we're going to work 3 double crochets into the next double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to skip this whole section here just like before and make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. Okay, so this is what we have so far. So as you can see, this row, the 5th row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is the same as the first row. So there's 4 chains here, 4 chains here, 3 double crochets into 1 stitch here, chain 3, 3 double crochets into 1 stitch, chain 4, and the same 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. So essentially we're going to keep repeating these 4 rows over and over. So the next row would be the same as row 2, this row. So keep repeating rows 1 to 4 over and over until you reach your desired length. Okay, so I'm going to leave you to continue this repeat from here to here. Next would be chain 4 and then continue on repeating until the end of the row. So I'll leave you to do the rest. So once you reach your desired length, we're going to stop off at the 3rd row of repeats. See how we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 repeats, 4 repeats, 4 repeats, and it should have 4 at the end here to end off, but we're going to make the last row a bit different. So let me show you what we're going to do for the last row. So we're going to chain 3 like normal and turn our work, and we're going to make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. And we can look down at the row 4 repeat that we have to do. So we're going to make this section here right up here. So that's chain 1 and double crochet 3 together. And here's where it gets a bit different. So this is a leaf that's finished off, and we're going to do the same thing on this side, but for the middle here we want to make this into a leaf as well that finishes off like this, like a triangle as well. So normally what we would do is make chain 3 double crochet, chain 3 double crochet, but we're not going to do that. Okay, we're going to chain 5, skip this section, and double crochet 3 together into the next 3 double crochets. So it looks like a small leaf at the end here. So we're going to chain 5 again, skip this section, and then double crochet 3 together. Now we're going to chain 1 and make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. So we're going to continue repeating this all the way to the end of the row, and then we have one last row to complete, which is basically a single crochet row to just finish off the end. Okay, so I'm going to leave you to repeat from here to here over and over until the end of the row. So this is how the end of your row should look like, with 3 tips of these leaves for each section. But we're going to make one last row with single crochet and a couple picots just to emphasize those ends. Okay, So at the end of the row, you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and we're just going to single crochet into each stitch. Single crochet 2 times into the chain 2 space, single crochet into the next 2 stitches, single crochet into the next chain space, and now we're going to make a picot at the tip of this leaf here. So to do that, you're going to chain 3 and slip stitch like this into that single crochet, then single crochet into the next stitch. So it looks like this. Yeah, now we're going to single crochet into each one of these 5 chains. And right before the tip of this leaf, we're going to make a picot. So I just finished chaining into each 5 of those chains. Now I'm going to chain 3 and slip stitch into that single crochet. Now single crochet into the top of that leaf, just like that, and continue just like before, single crocheting into each one of these chains. And now I reach back to the tip of this leaf. Now I'm going to make a picot. Slip stitch, single crochet, single crochet into that chain, single crochet into these double crochets, single crochet into the chain 2 space, just like this. So we're going to continue repeating this from here to here until the end, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so we just completed this. The leaves, they're just a little more pronounced at the end with that little picot. At the end of this row, I just finished off with my last 2 single crochets into these last 2 double crochets, and I'm going to end off with a single crochet into that last stitch at the end. Okay, now we're going to chain 1 at this corner, and we're going to work alongside this edge here. So I'm just going to turn my work to the side, and we're going to work 1 more single crochet into that same space, just because this is the corner and we're making a turning point. Now I'm going to place my hook anywhere there and make single crochets, 1, 2 single crochets into that space. After these 2 single crochets, we're going to make a picot. So we're going to chain 3 and slip stitch and single crochet into this space here. So that's our first picot, and then we're going to make 2 single crochets into this space, and then chain 3, slip stitch, make a picot, and single crochet into this space here. Now single crochet 2 times again into that next big space, and then chain 3, make a picot, and then single crochet into this space. So we're going to continue making picots and single crochets all the way to the end, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I just finished off this. And I reach back to the end corner here, and we're going to work along this edge now. So I just finished my last 2 single crochets, and I'm going to make a single crochet into the exact corner stitch here, chain 1, turn my work, and single crochet again into that space. And now we're just going to single crochet into each stitch all along this starting chain that we made. Okay, okay, so I'll leave you to do the rest, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I just reached back down to this end, and all we have to do now is work along this side just like how we did this side. Okay, so I'll leave you to do the rest, and you're going to cut and fasten off your yarn at the end here. Okay, okay, so I just finished working along this edge here, so it matches up to this edge. At this corner, I'm just going to work once into this space where this single crochet is at this corner, and then slip stitch into that single crochet, and I can cut and fasten off my yarn. Now we're going to be making a cord, and we're going to attach it to this section here so that the cord runs through the whole piece at the back around our rib cage. So we're going to make the cord first, and then we're going to work around the cord so that the cord is in between here. Okay, so let's do that. So to make your cord, you're going to make a slip knot. I'm going to chain 2, single crochet into the first chain. Now I'm going to turn my work like this. We're going to go into this loop and into this loop here. It's just the first one that's a bit difficult to catch because it's now starting off. So these 2 loops at the back here, just like that. And then we're going to grab the yarn, pull through those 2 loops, make a single crochet. Okay, now we're going to go into this loop and into this loop here. 1 and 2. Make a single crochet. Okay, now we can see it a bit better now. Now we're going to work into these 2 loops here. So just turn it a little bit. Push your hook through these 2 loops. Grab the yarn and single crochet. And the piece keeps turning around and around as we go. So let's do that again. These 2 loops. Grab the yarn, single crochet. These 2 loops. Grab the yarn, single crochet. And you want to make sure that this is kind of loose because it's harder to place your hook into those stitches if your stitches are too tight. Okay, so we're going to continue just like this to make our long cord that wraps around your rib cage and is able to tie into a bow at the front. Okay, so I'm going to leave you to do the rest. Continue making it as long as you want. Okay, this is what it should look like, and I'll leave you to do the rest, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I just finished creating my cord. It's a bit longer than the length of this. And it also has stretch. And to end it off, you're just going to end it off with a slip stitch. And chain 1, cut, fasten off your yarn. Okay, now let's attach it to your piece. So I'm just laying it out somewhat evenly, and we're going to take our yarn, make a slip knot, and I'm going to put my work on the right side, and we're going to start working around this to attach it together with single crochets. So I'm placing my hook where the corner is, the exact corner here, which is where that chain one space is. I'm just going to make a chain one and go into that same stitch at the corner, grab the cord, and we're going to grab the yarn, pull it around, and make a single crochet. And we don't want these stitches to be too tight because we want it to be able to glide within and have a bit of movement. So we're just going to continue making single crochets into each one of these stitches, just like this. So this is what it should look like, and we're going to continue all the way until we reach the other end. Okay, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I just finished off creating my single crochets around the cord, and at the end here we're not going to cut and fasten off just yet. We just have our last single crochet into the exact corner here. So now we're going to turn our work onto the wrong side. Now we can look to attach our cups. Now we want our cups to be on the wrong side as well. This is the wrong side and this is the right side. We're going to be connecting our cups on the wrong side, onto either end here. Okay, onto the both ends. So let's do this side first. So remember, we did not cut our yarn. So we're just going to continue off from where we left off. I just made a chain one at the corner here. And I'm going to grab this and we're going to sandwich these pieces together just so that it's a bit easier to work with and see the stitches. This is the right side and this is the right side, so it's sandwiched together, and the wrong sides are now on the outside here. Okay, let's take a look at the back of this cup. So as you can see, once you pull these stitches together, you can see a bit of a hole right here, right here, right here, and here. So these are the holes that we're going to be working into, but you need to kind of stretch it to see a bit better. So, but the first stitch we're going to be working into the corner here. Okay, so let's place our hook into the first stitch here and then place our hook anywhere into this corner. I'm going to grab the yarn and make a single crochet. Okay, now into the next stitch we're going to go into those holes now, so we have to kind of stretch to see. So this is the first hole and we're going to place one single crochet into that first hole, grab the yarn, make a single crochet. Now we're going to go into the next stitch and into that same hole that we went into. So we went in right here, we're going to make two single crochets into that same hole, and we're going to continue just like that with two single crochets into the back hole. So this is the next stitch. Find the hole, one single crochet, go into the next stitch, go into the same hole, two single crochets into that hole in the back, find the hole again. This is just so that we can try our best to make it as even as possible. So we're just going to continue like this all along until we finished connecting this cup on this side, okay? So this is what it should look like on this side. It should look like this on the right side. So I'll leave you to do the rest all until we reach here, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I just finished off attaching this cup. This is what it should look like. I just did my last single crochet, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the corner of this cup, anywhere there at this corner. And now we can cut and fasten off the yarn. So this is what it should look like on the wrong side. And remember, when we wear this, it will stretch because that's how the cups are made, to stretch and form to your body. So, and also this, the cord is able to move around, so you can tweak it to how you would like. Yeah. And this is what the right side should look like. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So for me, I'm just going to turn my work around just like this. Make sure this is on the wrong side and this is on the wrong side. And I just turn it around so that I could work from this way to this side. Okay, instead of having to work from this side to this side and then count all these stitches. We're going to connect these two pieces together, sandwich them together like this, and then we can make a slip knot and do the same exact thing, starting from this corner to this corner with our single crochets. And it's going to be a bit flipped, so this side on the bottom here we can see the holes a bit better because it's facing you this time when you're working like this. Okay, so I'll leave you to do this side. Single crochet all the way to the end, cut and fasten off your yarn, and then we can move on to the straps. Okay, so this is what it should look like once you're finished connecting the cups on both sides. This is the wrong side and this is the right side. Now we can move on to making the top straps. You're going to grab a yarn and make a slip knot. Take any side. It doesn't matter which side you start on. It could be the wrong or the right side. But we're starting from the tip of the cup here, where you see the two single crochets in the exact middle here. So we're going to be working into those two stitches. So we're going to pull up a loop, go through the next stitch, the second one, pull up another loop, grab the yarn, pull through all three. And we're going to be working into these two stitches here, these two loops, 1, 2. So we're going to go through here, then go through here, grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops, then make a single crochet. Now we're going to be going through these 2 loops here, grab the yarn, single crochet. Now we're going to turn, we're going to be going through this loop and this loop, these 2 loops at the side here, grab the yarn, single crochet. Turn your work as you go through these 2 loops here. It's a bit difficult to start off, but once you get through the first stitches, it becomes easier. And then you continue to turn, go through these 2 loops, grab the yarn, single crochet. So you're going to continue just like this all the way until you reach your desired length, and I'll meet you back and I'll leave you to do both sides, okay? So do the same thing on the opposite side. Okay, so this is what you should have so far with all your straps finished, and all you need to do now is weave in your ends. But if you want to add some beads to the ends of these straps, you can. I'm going to be using these 4 beads. So all you need is a darning needle, one that preferably can fit through the hole of your bead, like that. And you're going to take the end of a strap, weave the yarn through, place it through, and then just go in and out and try to make it even. And then you can weave in your ends. I just go through the strap like this. And that's it. So you're going to do this for all 4 ends, okay? All 4 straps. And I'll leave you to do the rest.